What's going on YouTube? It's your boy RonnyPugs back again with another Far From Home related video. Once again we will be discussing the scenario that Mysterio is being truthful when telling Peter that he is from another universe, but more specifically we will be looking at a theory that I've seen discussed among fans, which is the theory of Mysterio being an alternate version of Peter Parker, of course from another universe. This isn't my original theory, I've seen it discussed on Twitter, the Comic Book Cast, and Screen Rant. I'm not sure exactly who came up with it, but today I will share the theory and give my thoughts on it as well as read yours down below. So the theory basically goes that Mysterio is in fact from Earth 833 as he claims in the footage we've seen, but he's not Quentin Beck, and in fact he's the Peter Parker of his Earth who's taken on the role of Mysterio because somewhere down the line this Peter Parker took a different path from the path that Peter is supposed to take. Earth 833 in the comics is also the home of Spider UK, who's not Peter Parker but instead William Braddock, so if Mysterio does turn out to be his Earth's Peter Parker, it would make sense since they already have a different Spider-Man in that universe. In the footage, Mysterio does mention that they could use somebody like Peter on his Earth, which doesn't necessarily mean that his Earth doesn't have a Spider-Man, but instead Mysterio could be saying that his Earth needs a good Peter Parker. Adding to the possibility of Braddock's Spider-Man existing within Mysterio's world, we have gotten some Far From Home toys featuring a Stark suit inspired Spider UK suit, which I have made a video on, and although that could just be merchandise for the film, there still is the possibility that those Spider-Man figures are for the Spider-Man of Mysterio's world. And honestly, how cool would it be for Tom Holland to play another Spider-Man in the film, especially with his original accent? So not only could Mysterio be an alternate Peter Parker due to the possibility of someone already taking on the role of Spider-Man in his world, but Marvel and Sony could revive something that almost was but wasn't, with Jake Gyllenhaal almost playing Spider-Man back in 2004. Gyllenhaal was set to replace Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2 if Tobey was unable to return due to back injury, but of course we all know that Tobey pulled through and finished up the trilogy as Spider-Man. So with Mysterio being from another universe, not only could he play one of Spider-Man's iconic villains, but Gyllenhaal could finally play a version of the character that he almost played in 2004. Of course, he wouldn't be the Peter Parker of the Raimi universe, but it would sort of be like an IOU from Sony and Marvel for not getting to play the character back in the day. Lastly, I wanted to discuss some things that we've seen in the comics and other Spider-Man media that could play into this Mysterio theory, with the first being that we've seen Mysterio dress up as Spider-Man in multiple forms of media such as the Ditko comics and the Neversoft game, so actually making Mysterio Spider-Man would sort of pay homage to the fact that people thought he was Spider-Man certain times throughout the character's history. And second, we have seen alternate versions of Peter Parker that took a different path from what our hero is supposed to take, such as the animated series finale and Edge of Time that I have yet to play, but we haven't seen that in film yet, and I do think that making Mysterio an alternate version of Peter Parker would be an okay move depending on how well it's executed. And we do know that there's a scene in the film that Tom Holland described as a punch in the face to the audience, which I feel Mysterio revealing himself as an evil version of Peter Parker would be enough to do that. So let me know what you guys thought of the video and your thoughts on this theory. Would you like to see Mysterio as an alternate version of Peter Parker in the film? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, and I will see you guys again in my next video.